Hopefully by the title you guys have guessed that this is not about the disastrous timing of Battleborn and its release. We will go into that. You know, Blizzard launching Overwatch right over the period that this game was out. They're both hero shooters, but Battleborn's metagame is actually quite different. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but it's really about the refund or lack of, and how 2K just turned their noses up at anybody asking for one, and the debacle that CDPR went through with Sony when their game didn't work properly. This has been smited from the earth. The footage you're looking at here is pulled from another YouTuber who I'll put in the comments, go and see them. This whole incident feels like a double whammy. Not only can we not play this game, but we never got any money back. Now you might be like, Coop mate, just leave it. It was no good. It wasn't given enough update, and of course it collapsed under the pressure of Overwatch. But I do want to cover some things. This had a campaign in it that was actually pretty awesome, and the choice of character and the differences in them is far more diverse than Overwatch. And if you're a fan of like all the Borderlands stuff and some of the artists at Gearbox, this will just scratch an itch. It's so crazy busy. I loved its look and feel, and remember we're looking at some high-res PC footage. It did not run this good on the PlayStation 4, and that was another thing that I had at the back of my mind was, oh wow, Battleborn's going to look amazing on the PlayStation 5. There was the straight sort of take an objective PvP game mode, but there was also this weird AI mode where you spawned minions and they headed towards an entrance at the other player's base, and vice versa. So what's happening is you're having to keep an eye on these tiny little robots or escort them. It just looked so cool. It was such a great idea. You could spawn really big minions that could take loads of damage or even attack the other players, and what that would mean is that you could sit back and just cause the other player loads of grief because you're pushing all of these little AI robots their way. It kind of had more in common with a tower defense game with the road network leading to the other players' nodes. It was just so much fun. So I'm thinking before I rip into them I should really just double check. I do remember them switching the servers off, but you know, they switched the servers off on a lot of games, something like Red Dead. If they switched the servers off on that, you wouldn't then have the one player content completely blitzed from your machine. So what happened is I was putting some material together. I thought, right, let's get Battleborn re-downloaded because I can look at that campaign and I can fiddle around with it. 50 gigabyte went in, including all the updates. On the title screen it's like, go away, you cannot access this material. What was the last tweet? 20th 2021. Seriously embarrassing stuff.
Here we go.
There is outrage. There are people out there who did fall foul of 2K when they went to actually get a refund or request it. And of course I paid $55 for this brand new, and then immediately within a month of launch they slapped it down to half price, and then about 4 months they put it on free to play, which was like alarm bells. Again, Coop, the game was no good, no harm, no foul. Look at Anthem that cost me $80 because I pre-ordered it. I don't think they're ever going to smite that single player content, but you don't know. It's a serviced game. They could just flip a switch if they don't want to keep that live online system going. The whole thing just might implode on itself if they have to shut it down. It's the fact that I've not got this digital property anymore. I can't access any of the offline content, which is kind of heartbreaking because I still like to look at older games, even if they are a bit shit, because of my interest in Gearbox. Here comes the twist. It was an effing split screener. The campaign and that PvP mode, and you could go online, but the most fun was in the PvP with that mode I was talking about with the AI bots. It was hilarious being able to see the problems you were causing the person on the screen above you. And the campaign itself had massive set piece bosses in it, and it had this really cool system of on the fly buffs and perks. So you saw that like DNA graph come up. Well, when you're fighting the other guy on the couch, you can see where they've gone and spent their points and start counteracting them, and you spend money, have a currency within the map that you can buy. Huge upgradable turrets with completely dominating massive swathes of the map. You had to sort of overtake everything in stages. The games would go on for like 45 minutes. You could actually respawn as a different character and start changing things up. There was so much to choose from when it came to direction on build, or sort of progressive loadout was unlimited, and you never got bored. And looking at the explosions and the cell shading and the numbers and the great sound effects and crazy Borderland-esque one-liners from all of these brand new characters that they'd come up with. I was like, this is the new age. What could they have done to fix this or sweeten this? Well, I was thinking they could have given us some in-store credit. Anybody who bought this online, they should have got their money back, at least 50% of their money back. Or they could have offered us some free Borderlands-y DLC or something like that, you know? Anybody who has this physical is just got a worthless piece of plastic in their hands. I really wouldn't be surprised if it goes for a shed ton of money in about 15-20 years, because this is an anomaly. It's the first time this was AAA. A game was released and then erased from existence. No explanation, no refund, no apologetic email, maybe a tweet in 2021 from Randy. What a bunch of pillocks.
3 minions along to weaken the enemy sentry.
There's probably some crazy mod Steam community that still play this, that have worked around a lot of that ERM. I don't know, that's a long shot. And of course, isn't it strange to see what a mess Blizzard's in now, and with Overwatch 2 just being a bit wobbly, and Diablo Immortal coming out on a goddamn mobile phone.
You're doing this the hard way.
I also thought I should cover it, seeing as it was launched 6 years ago now. This whole debacle went down about 3-4 years ago, and the game personally did a lot of stuff for me that Overwatch didn't, including a shed ton of single player content and an amazing PvP and co-op and campaign split screen mode. It's just a damn shame that this is just going to go down in history as something that never technically existed.
Keep an eye on Raina.
I think there should be some stipulation or legislation that goes in with an online service game that has offline content within it, that content is yours owned, even if the servers are switched off, and that anything installed on your hard disk that doesn't need the internet to be fired up is legally yours. It is not fair that 2K pulled this and took my game back off me and took my money. And I want you to think of them as like the nicey publisher, you know, BioShock, shit wouldn't stick to us, but deep down I've seen a lot of skullduggery from these guys, and this one is huge. I want more of a fuss made. If you want your money back, if you're annoyed like me and just want to see some sort of compensation in this direction, and you've left it 2 years like I have, stick something in the comments. Or I have been Couch Cooper. I will see you down there. We've got number 12 coming up soon.